There's an article on Fox News that asks, is Planned Parenthood affiliate fueling anti-Trump protests? Blogger Matt Walsh asked the question, what kind of protests would we see if the government now defunded Planned Parenthood? What if it was it $500 million a year that the government receives? $553 million tax dollars last year, pledged to spend $30 million to defeat Donald Trump, which it obviously did not do. And should we make abortion our one issue that determines how we vote? 866-34-TRUTH. I want to speak to everyone living in Greater Charlotte, North Carolina right now. I want to speak to the whole nation, but everyone living in Greater Charlotte, North Carolina. My guest, Justin Reeder, lives in Charlotte with his wife, Jennifer, and their 2 kids. And he has a tremendous burden to do something when it comes to the pro-life movement. And something major is happening that every one of you can participate in if you live in Greater Charlotte. Justin, welcome to the Line of Fire. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Dr. Michael Brown. It's an honor to be with you.
Glad to have you. How did you come to have such a burden for the unborn?
Yeah, so the journey began for me back in 2012. Actually had some friends that invited me out to the local abortion clinic here in Charlotte, which is one of the largest in the Southeast, and it just began to educate me on what was taking place here in our city and what I call the tragic truth about Charlotte, which I think everybody needs to know. And as I stood there in 2012, I began to learn that abortion was the leading cause of death in our city. And my heart began to break as I heard these statistics that 150 to 200 abortions were happening every week in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I've been doing business with a company right across the street from this abortion clinic for almost 10 years and never knew this place even existed.
Really?
And so when I came face to face with it in 2012, that's when God really began breaking my heart over this issue.
Let me just jump in and ask you a question. But someone would say, but who is Justin Reeder? I mean, is he pastoring a church? Is he an elected official? Is he a wealthy businessman funding a movement? Isn't he just a regular guy, married guy, now a guy with kids? Isn't he just a regular guy? I mean, that's pretty much how God dealt with you, right? Pretty much telling us you don't have to be somebody big and famous to make a difference.
Yes, sir, that's right. Yeah, my belief is I'm a business guy. I've owned a business now for 11 years here in the city, and that's been my call. It's been in the marketplace for a long time, but I don't believe there's any separation between ministry and marketplace. When you have Jesus in your heart, it's always full-time ministry. And so God has put this burden on my heart, and in August of this last year is when he put this specific plan to unite and mobilize the church in our city to create a culture of life that would bring an end to abortion in Charlotte in 2016. And when he dropped that on my heart, it was a heavy burden. But I had been praying from the Lord. I said, Lord, break my heart for the things that break yours. And he did.
All right, so what have you been able to do thus far, and what is happening in Charlotte in a few weeks? Let's start with what's happened so far.
Yeah, so it's a 40-week campaign. We launched it in March of this year. We had no credibility when we started because, again, I'm not on staff at any church. Obviously, know a lot of business people in the area, but, it started from ground zero. Now we have 60 churches that have partnered with us over the last 37 weeks in this campaign. We've had over 5,000 people that have participated in our prayer walks out at the abortion clinic on Saturdays, and thousands more across our city that have been praying and fasting on a weekly basis for God to do something supernatural in our city. And over the last 37 weeks, we've had over 370 families that have chosen life at the abortion clinic. They went there that day. They were scheduled for an abortion. God touched their heart, changed their minds. We have some amazing testimonies to share about all of that. But not only that, we have seen a significant drop in abortions in our city. I'm talking about a 30 to 40% drop in our city over the last 8 to 9 months. On Saturdays, this place was averaging around 50 to 60 abortions every Saturday. That number literally has been cut in half to about 25. And we had about 1,000 people out there for our 1,000th pro-life prayer walk about 2 months ago. Only 9 people showed up for an abortion that day, which is the least amount anybody's seen in 10 years out there on a Saturday.
All right.
God's moving in some amazing ways.
All right, friends, notice what happened. God lays a burden on a businessman. He says there's no separation between your personal life, your ministry life, your business. It's all one and the same. It's your life. It's your calling in God. He gets a burden. He starts something, not, again, as a well-known figure with massive funding. It catches on. And I want you to repeat this. How many families have chosen life, in other words, chosen not to abort their baby this year in Charlotte?
Yeah, the exact number is 377 families that
right,
went to the abortion clinic and chose life.
Now, who knows how many others ended up making a decision before they got closer that you don't even know about. 377. Just give me, if you can think of one highlight story, one that's especially touching that comes to mind.
Yeah, absolutely. So a girl named Nicole, 18 years old, went to the abortion clinic. She was in high school. She was scared. Went to the abortion clinic, was inside of the waiting room. God touched her heart, got her up out of there, came outside to one of our outreach partners or one of our ministry partners, Cities for Life and Hope Crisis Center. She went onto the mobile unit where they offer free ultrasounds for women right outside of the abortion clinic. Went onto that mobile unit, saw her child through the free ultrasound, chose life for her baby that day, also gave her heart to Jesus right there on the sidewalk.
Come on.
And then the very next day, we had her connected with a local church. That's very much a part of our program. We've started a mentoring program where these partnering churches, they come alongside of these families, and they love on them, they care for them, they throw them a baby shower. And so we've seen Nicole just explode in her face. She's been sharing her testimony and her story with youth groups all across our city. She's been out there leading prayer walks with us. So that's just one, but that's about a girl named Nicole. She graduated from high school with straight A's while she was pregnant. And my belief is, Nicole has a sphere of influence. And when people now look at Nicole, they say, look, not only did she do it, not only did she choose life, but the local church came alongside of her, and they partnered with her. And my belief is this. Now, when people see her, or after they have seen her, I believe people will stop running to the local abortion clinics for answers, and they will begin running to the local church. And that's the shift in culture that we're hoping to see.
Justin, this is absolutely thrilling to hear. It's wonderful to hear. It's God glorifying. It is so heartening to hear, and it is so full of love and hope and life. All right, we've got 2 minutes. What's coming up next? Everyone listening to me in Greater Charlotte, you can be part of making history. What's happening?
Yeah, so week 40, our final prayer walk for this year, we're calling all 60 churches back together to rally together for this week for us to stand united. So November 30th, and this is for everybody. You don't have to be a partnering church with us, even though all the partnering churches will be there. So this is Greater Charlotte, all across North Carolina, South Carolina. We're calling you to pray and fast with us on November the 30th. We're believing to have over 10,000 people united in prayer and fasting on November the 30th. On December the 3rd, that Saturday, from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m., we will have a prayer walk taking place at Charlotte's busiest abortion clinic. We're not out there protesting or yelling or screaming at anybody. In fact, that's part of our code of conduct, that we do not engage with anybody at the clinic. We're there to pray and to believe for God to do something supernatural that day. In fact, I believe that could be the day that the owners of this abortion clinic come face-to-face with King Jesus. This could be the day that the abortionists drop to their knees and give their heart to Jesus. So we're calling everybody to be there. Sign up or registration will be taking place at 9 a.m. You can register for this event at our website, lovelifecharlotte.com. But don't miss it, December the 3rd. The prayer walk, again, will be from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. We're going to have some of the workers from the abortion clinic that have quit that will be there with us. We're going to have some of the families that have chosen life that will be there with us. It's going to be a powerful day. In fact, I believe it will be the greatest day for life our city has ever experienced.
All right, give us the website once more.
LoveLifeCharlotte.com.
Friends, what a time to be filled with hope and encouragement. Get involved. Be part of history. Go to LoveLifeCharlotte.com. Drive in from a few hours away. It's worth it. Take time in your morning to be there December 3rd. Let's make history together. Justin, thank you, and God bless you. What incredibly encouraging news.